I'm Maria Menounos, and you're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
What's up, guys? We are here talking all things Harley. I'm so excited. My name is Tatiana Maritza, and of course, we are talking season 2, episode 6. All the best inmates have daddy issues. Is it just inmates or is it everybody? I'm not quite sure. I guess we'll have to find out as we talk about it. Of course, I am joined by Chauncey. How are you, Chauncey?
Hey, y'all. Chauncey K. Robinson here.
Amazing.
Excited to be here.
And we are missing Tehran. I'm a little bit sad.
Are we missing?
I'm kind of sad, kind of not sad. No, we love you, Tehran.
Yes, sometimes.
We'll see how we flow without you. I'm sure pretty nice. Actually.
Yeah.
Throwing shade everywhere.
Always.
We are talking Joker or not. I knew he was coming back. I'm just going to throw that in there. We are talking, of course, like Joker and his daddy issues. True or not, you let me know. And of course, Harley and Ivy. We, of course, get more background information on their relationship, which is nice to see exactly how they met. And, can't really change a person, but everybody has a little human in them, right?
Yes.
So first of all, let me get your first reactions, Chauncey. What did you think of this episode?
I thought this was interesting. I love the fact that at first when I saw that it was going to be a flashback episode, I was like, oh man, like no plot forward. It's a flashback. We know what that's going to mean.
Right.
But I actually thought, it was cool seeing a lot of throwbacks to DC Gotham villains. I mean, I called out each one as I saw them. Riddler had hair. I was like, wow, this is, and it was interesting because one of the things with the flashback sometimes is that you feel like the plot won't move forward. But I felt in this way, it actually opened up more questions for me. It made me think a little deeper about some of the characters, some of the relationships, and just kind of the origin of it and what timeline. I think it actually revealed in what timeline we're at in Gotham too, with the whole Jason Todd reference and things like that. So overall, I enjoyed it. It was funny, but it was also serious too.
Yeah, I feel like this season is bringing us a lot of seriousness.
Yeah.
The first season was like guts, gore, how many people can we slash and rip apart, Harley. And this one is like actual really good storyline.
Yeah, it's like, I feel like we're getting to the point where we can actually, I know the joke is always, we can't really make predictions with this show, but I actually think for the past maybe 4 episodes, I feel like it is becoming a show where you kind of can make predictions and trying to figure out where they're going with next, what they're building up to, because there's a lot of buildup going on. There's like multiple plot lines happening that, especially like what we're going to talk about with Joker, where you're just kind of like, where are they going with this? What's the end game, so to speak, with how Gotham's going to maybe go back to the status quo or maybe forever be changed all the way. So
that's an interesting point. Forever be. Do you think that it will go back or do you think it's forever changed?
I think it's interesting. I actually, when season 1 ended, I was like, okay, how are they coming back from this? like, where do you go from this? This happened very quickly. Didn't think they'd get there. And I don't want to say that I think season 2 is trying to get a reset on things. I think it broke it all down to build it back up in some kind of way. And I do think we'll get back to Gotham. We'll get back to Batman like we saw in the previous episode. He just needs to heal for probably like a year or 2. And then YouTube Batgirl. Never really liked that character. It's gonna
oh dang, that hit me in the heart. That's like my favorite, minus Catwoman. That's like my favorite.
I cannot with Batgirl ever in any iteration.
Damn.
So I feel like they're building it back up to be something different, but maybe a lot of the same, except for, some of the characters that are just straight up dead, like Penguin and others. So, but I definitely think we're going to get back to the part where Batman is still a staple, but maybe with a few more familiar faces in whatever timeline they're in when it comes to this version of Gotham.
He's definitely going to have a crew. That's
what I mean. Like, I think they're I definitely think there's going to be a crew going on when it comes to where they're going to go with it. So it's interesting to call Batgirl first and not, damn, I forgot his name. Not Jason Todd, because he's dead with the crowbar, because they reference that. But
yeah, I like where they're going. It seems like they're setting the foundation now to have a lot of plot lines, and they have the freedom to do so. So it's really fun to see what they come up with. That's what I like the most. Okay, Joker or not. Okay, we all knew he wasn't dead. I mean, I thought.
Yeah, well, we saw the hand.
We saw the hand, yeah.
So I think that was, yeah.
But he's not Joker, obviously. And at first they saw him and I was like, no, how are they going to bring him back like that? And he had just this super complete opposite of what Joker is. But obviously we see at the end with his crazy laugh that he will be. Do you think he's going to have like a flashback, or what? How is he going to get his memory back?
I feel like there's gonna be like a bait and switch. Like they kept doing this thing where he came back after his mind was messed with, and you thought something was gonna happen, and nothing happened. Then they had a part where he was laughing at the photo that the kids sent him, and he was laughing crazy, like, "Okay, this is it," and then nothing happened. So I feel like they're gonna probably play with this like red herring sort of deal. I feel like it won't be until the end of the season that we see the Joker return, which I mean, I think is necessary at this point, because I do think we're kind of running out of complex enough villains for this. Two-Face is interesting. I just don't think he's going to be complex enough. He's kind of like the big dog in town right now because he keeps being able to, throw Bane off. But I think it's going to be later on in the season. I think something's going to have to switch it. But it was interesting seeing that. I don't know. Weirdly enough, I always thought Harley and Joker were like a toxic relationship, and I still think that.
Yeah,
but it's very interesting to see their dynamic in the asylum and seeing his kind of their origin of something. And I don't know. I felt like maybe it was a little bit of an equal pairing in the very beginning, maybe before she got completely dependent on him. Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah, I think she took him on as like for lack of a better word, like a charity case kind of thing. Yeah. Like I can fix him. I can fix anybody. Like, and just her relationship with Ivy that we'll get into later. It seems like she feels like she can find the good in everybody. And she even carries that on into her villainy when she picks these people that have been cast out, and she's like, "You're gonna be a great villain," and she still has heart and like hope for these people.
Yeah, I mean, even in that same regard, though, she had a bit. I mean, I did think that Joker kind of called her card though a little bit, where he was like, "Yeah, you want a book deal out of this." He was like, "Yeah, you're kind of career trim," and I felt that too. I mean, I know like some parts were like altruistic, like she saw Ivy, they had a connection, but she did want that book deal. She was about trying. She had a thesis, right?
Yeah.
They know
it's like the first thing she mentioned when she was like, talking to them,
and she was like, "Well, maybe I'll turn this paper into a novel." Like she saw those, and you kind of, like you said, how just like on the other end, how she was taking in people who had been cast out. You saw that when she got cast out by Joker, that she was trying to become a name for herself. She was trying to build a brand. That was all about what season 1 was about. Mm-hmm. And you see little remnants of that in the flashback of her trying to build a name for herself as a psychologist. So there's those two halves of Harley Quinn that's always there with her, which, I mean, it was actually nice to see that it wasn't just like,
absolutely.
Until Joker came along. Like, no, you were, you kind of wanted to climb the ladder a little bit. So,
and she's still trying, right?
Yeah, she definitely,
in this whole like villain game, she's still trying. And of course we have the Joker and his daddy issues, because so this whole story with the pheasant, obviously now we know it wasn't his. It was a lie. But I'm wondering though if there is some truth to the story between him and the relationship that he has with his father.
I don't know. I feel like, I don't know. What do you think? Because I felt like they were playing a little bit on the I don't know why his name went out of my head, in The Dark Knight, the Joker of The Dark Knight, the very classic.
Yeah, they had like many quotes from The Dark Knight in this episode.
Yeah, where it was like, you don't know his origin story, where they were playing that in The Dark Knight's Joker, right? Where it was just like, he always kept talking about, for people who saw that, he was talking about like how people always ask me how I got these scars. And throughout the whole movie, he had a different story each time. Mm-hmm. And I feel like they might be playing that a little bit with Joker, where it was like he was telling the story that was Ivy's story. But in reality, you know, you don't know his story. Did he get abused as a child? Maybe he's just always been screwed up.
I mean, I would assume so.
Yeah. Well, no, that's just it. But that's just it. He might just be a psycho just to be a psycho. And that's what I feel like they were playing on, that kind of Joker Dark Knight, whereas there's not really like the Joaquin Phoenix Dark Knight, I mean, Joker, where it's like, okay, we know what sparked this off, you know, being left out of the system. But then with the, I don't know why his name, Heath Ledger.
Oh, yeah.
His Joker, where you don't know where he came from. It was just like, he's insane for who knows what reason. And I think they kind of leaned into that with this episode. I felt like
they had like an entire scene that was taken from The Dark Knight.
Yeah.
When they're in
the beating, exactly.
Batman goes in there and then it's like almost shot for shot, dare I say. So so they definitely took a lot of that. But I think like even with The Dark Knight, and I think the same in here, you brought up a good point that he'll probably change it every time. But I also think there's like a little bit of truth to each story that he has. So, you know, maybe in this scenario, the one that he gave Harley Quinn was, I have a horrible relationship with my father. Like maybe that's the only truth, but everything else was a lie. You know, like maybe his father was like super disappointed in him and that part was true, but everything else was like awful.
Yeah. And I hate to say it, but I don't know. I felt like it got way more interesting when Joker came back on the scene. Like, you know, that flashback and the dynamic between the two. I'm not saying I want them back together at all.
No.
But he's her adversary. Like without that, you kind of have Harley kind of going around different things, but there's something about that dynamic, and there's something about Joker's presence that, not saying that Harley Quinn can't exist on her own, because of course she can. There's whole franchise.
Well, she's kind of sporadic. Like her goals are like here, you know, and so it's hard to say right now. It's hard to say that I could see her on her own, because I don't think she realizes what she wants. I mean, she accomplished her goal, and now what?
Yeah, they're just sitting in a bar and she's doing F, marry, kill, Joker, Joker, Joker. And it's just like, when is her mind not on Joker in some weird way?
Never.
Maybe, you know, that's her origin, right? She came out, the character came on the scene through Joker. She didn't stand on her own for a minute. And her story is very much tied with him. But there's something about the writing when he gets on screen and the way they can play on things, even when he's not the main focus, that it just, even with Ivy's interaction with him, it's like you kind of need him around. It's weird.
Yeah, you do. And I like how but in this, it's all about Harley. So to have him there for everything, it automatically, which I think you've said this before in a past taping, when he's in the shot or in the scene, it's automatically about him.
Yes.
And so this is a really good way to take him kind of out of focus, but have him still be there, because now he poses no threat. And he's got kids.
And he's there.
And he's like there's a psycho in him somewhere, you know, but it just hasn't come back up.
Do you think if she keeps meeting him when he's normal, that she might start falling for him? Like it might be this idea of Joker.
Absolutely.
Without the craziness, so maybe we could work.
Absolutely. Like I think an interesting take I think this could bring her back from like out of this villainy that in this life that she's created because of the Joker. And now will probably fantasize about having this life, a normal life with a normal man.
Yep.
You know, in this alternate love. Yeah. Like having kids and like having a normal job and like all this stuff. I totally think that she's thinking about maybe possibly going back.
I think we're gonna meet the girlfriend, and I think there's gonna be some jealousy there. I think she's gonna try to scope it out.
Watch her be insane. Watch her be insane, and he's just like taking a beating. Okay, so Harley and Ivy, I really like this that they've gone together, and that we see how Ivy connects with Harley, and I think that's really cool because obviously they have like a deep connection. But now we see kind of how it started, and that's with Harley seeing the good in Ivy. Everybody can, you know.
Yeah.
So it was a good message. You know, I'm all about the good messages.
Yeah, and it's another. Yeah, exactly. You are. Unlike me. Yeah. I saw the new layer of their. You know, I'm still not feeling this idea of a romance somewhere down the line, but I definitely think they have a very close connection, and this showed that. So
it's like the ultimate friendship.
Yes.
All right, quickly, if you could pick any scene, how Harley are you? What scene would it be, or character would it be?
probably trying to help a guy out and then getting bamboozled somewhere in the past of my life.
Okay.
Yes, I'll do it for Toronto. Who hurt you, Chauncey? Yes.
I don't want to say it, but just to act like Toronto's here. I'm glad you put that in there. Yes. Mine, of course, would be finding the good in everybody. Like, yes. I totally identify. So just call me Batgirl, okay?
Yeah. Batgirl.
But I don't want to get on your nerves. We're friends, right?
Okay. Fine. Yeah, we're great.
All right, really quick, we have some news. What was the news and gossip that we have for today?
Well, the two pieces of news is one, for those who want to actually own, not Harley Quinn herself, because that's wrong, but like the actual season 1 of the show, it will be coming to DVD it will be coming to DVD on June 2nd. So people can get that. You can check out the pricing for it. Seems like a decent price for all of season 1 of this very awesome show. So that'll be coming out on DVD to own for those who like the physical copy of stuff. And if you haven't heard already, Harley Quinn DC Universe is actually streaming on the Sci-Fi channel. You can actually, if you have, you can watch. It started streaming on this past Sunday, so you can actually catch it if you don't have DC Universe, but you surely get to see DC Universe because it's awesome. And that's the two tidbits.
That's awesome. Quick news. I like it.
Yeah.
Not fake news, just quick news.
Fake news.
Okay. Well, that is so awesome. I like that what we covered. We made it short and sweet. It was good. I think we got everything in there. And of course, before we leave, where can we find you, Chauncey?
You can find me on Rotten Tomatoes as I'm a film and TV critic. And I just put up my recent one, The Killer Sofa movie. So check it out.
Nice. I will be
Killer Sofa.
And I, of course, am Tatiana Maritza at Tatiana Maritza on all social media platforms. Thank you so much for tuning in. We will have Teron next time. So if you missed him, you'll see him again, I promise. And we'll see you next time.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.